Today I am doing my September reading wrap-up. I do this every month. I talk about all of the books that I read that month. This month I read 7 books, which I'm still happy about, but it's a little bit less than I have been reading this year. I went on a trip to New York City. It was a very quick, very quick 2-day trip. I went with my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother, and it was really great, but it was very short. But still, I didn't get to read as much as I normally would in a month because of that trip. New York would be a fantastic place to read, but we had to pack a lot of things in, and I was exhausted at the end of each day, or I was up really late and I had no time to read. I've also been a little bit I've been in a little bit of a reading slump, but not really. Just like not as into reading this month. But there are so many books that I want to get to in October. So I'm really excited, and hopefully that will help me get out of this slump, if you want to call it a slump. So, now for the books that I read in September. So, I read all of these books on my Kindle, so I won't be tapping on anything. I'll just be talking. So, the first book that I read is a fantasy called The Midnight Library, by Matt Haig, I believe. I expected to like this book more than I did. It's about a magical library, and this library gives you the opportunity to live an infinite number of lives over. So you can, she can pick a book off the shelf, and then she will transport herself into that life. The book is very philosophical. It is very existential, and it's trying to make points about what it means to live a good life and what it means to have regrets and to be happy, to be grateful. And I really liked a lot of those messages, but I didn't like the way that they were had so many people talk about this book so highly. It's about a woman who is, she is out. It starts where she's out in a restaurant with her husband, and she, it's for her birthday, and she notices that there's another woman with a birthday at the restaurant, and so she's noting this, like, to her husband, that this woman is her birthday twin. And long story short, she ends up forming a relationship with this woman. And this woman is a podcaster. She has a podcast, and the main girl, I forget her name, she convinces the podcaster to film episodes with her, film a series based on her, and through this, it sort of becomes a true crime podcast, and you learn some things about the main woman's husband, and the book is left, actually I won't say that, it's just, you kind of feel, it has the feel where the narrator isn't reliable, which I kind of liked that. I like that in movies too, where there's an unreliable narrator. But I just didn't like the book. I don't have a reason other than it didn't feel special to me. So that's why I only gave it 3 stars. When I read Behind Closed Doors, for example, it's another thriller, I remember feeling like it was really special and really good, but I didn't get that feeling with this one. It felt just meh. Yeah, so I'm wondering if I need to take a break from, like, these domestic thrillers, because I think that they're starting to feel boring to me. It might be because I keep reading the same kinds of books, same kinds of thrillers. So I might try to read different ones, maybe ones that are more horror. Yeah, I think that'll be good anyway in the fall months. So that was None of This Is True. It's not that I wouldn't recommend the book, but I don't know if it's good for someone if you already read a lot of that kind of thriller lately, like I did. Yeah. Next, I read another fantasy, and it's by Carissa Broadbent. It's the same author that wrote The Serpents and the Wings of Night, which is one of my favorites. So she has this other series. This book is called Daughter of No Worlds, and it is about a girl who is like, there's this class of people, and she is like that class, but this like evil guy and his castle or whatever, and eventually she gets out, and it follows her journey, like becoming a part of this army type thing. And a big part of it is that she is trained by this guy who becomes the love interest. A lot of stuff happens, a lot of action, similar to her other series. But it's not too similar. It felt different enough. And there's a second book, and I am very excited to read that. I must really like this woman's writing, Carissa Broadbent, because I also felt like this was a 5-star book. So, I really loved it. I really got engrossed in the world. I really liked the characters. I really liked both the main character and the love interest. I find that she creates characters really well, and I really like the way that she describes action sequences. So yeah, so that was a very very good book. So that was Daughter of No Worlds. Then I read what I thought was a romance, but it seemed more like a literary fiction. It is Lessons in Chemistry. And this book is about a woman who is a chemist. And it is based in the 60s. She is really struggling as a woman in that field at that time. And she falls in love with another chemist in her program, a really famous one. And it's hard not to give away things for this book. But she ends up with a totally different job, working on TV. And this book is really, really fun. I gave it 4 stars because it didn't give me the 5-star feeling, but it was good. It's different than a lot of books I've read. For example, there's a dog in the book, and the dog actually has, there are actually POVs of the dog. So you're like in the dog's mind for parts of the book, and that was funny and just like different and interesting. There's also a kid in the book, and about World War II, and there are a lot of other characters too that become a part of it, and it describes a lot of the horrors of World War II, and it was really effective in making you feel like you were in that time, and that it's based in France mostly, and a lot of it was quite graphic and horrific, so keep that in mind. But I think it needed to do that to be accurate, and the writing is so good. The characters are really well developed, and yeah, it's very emotional. So I really loved this book, and I've still thought about it after I've read it. So she has a lot of books, Kristen Hanna, and people really like her writing, so I see why, and definitely recommend that book. I haven't looked into any of her other ones, but I should, because she has like so many. She has like similar to Stephen King level prolific. So that is The Nightingale. Then I read my first like YA book in a long time, and it's called The Naturals. This is book 1 of a series. The series is about teenagers or young adults. I think the main girl is 18, but I could be wrong. And it's about this department of the FBI that recruits teens, and teens that have special skills when it comes to like different things. There's like 5 kids in the book, and at least in the first one, and one of them is really good at statistics and math. Another one is really good at reading emotions, and the main girl, she's really good at profiling people, so kind of like psychology. And so there's this department, and they recruit these kids and then train them to be even better, and then to be a part of the FBI, and to work on catching killers. And so this book follows these kids, mainly the main girl, and it also has this murder mystery element mixed into it. And before I was going on my trip to New York, and I literally Googled books set in New York, and this book came up. So this book is called In 5 Years, and it is a like Lessons in Chemistry. I think it's marketed as a romance, but I think it's more literary fiction. I really liked this book. I didn't love it. I gave it 4 stars, but in the beginning I felt like it might be 5 stars. So it was close, but I ended up liking it less over time. And I think that's because it's a bit misleading in that it makes you think it's going to be about romance, but it's not really. So what happens in the book is there is a girl who lives in New York. So this was a really good book if you want what I wanted, where I wanted to hear a lot about New York City. It talks about that a lot, and the city is really like a character in its own right, and I really liked that. It's clear that the author is really passionate about New York, and it follows a girl who is dating this guy, and she's unhappy with him, but she's in denial about it. They've been together for a long time, and on paper they fit really well. But one day she wakes up and she is 5 years in the future, and she is with another guy, and you're under the impression that the book is going to follow her, like, getting used to this new life, figuring out what's going on, falling in love with this new guy. But that's not really what the book is. A lot of the book is about her friendship with her girlfriend, and I mean, like, ultimately coming to terms with the fact that she's not happy with her boyfriend, and it is really good. Like, I really did like it, but I found myself wanting, like, I did get a little bit bored, and I found it slow in the middle, and I found myself wanting more romance than you get. So yeah, but if you're looking for a book that explores friendship between women and or that is set in New York City, it's really good. I would definitely recommend this book. So I think those were all seven books that I read in September. It was an okay reading month. I got The Nightingale out of it, and Daughter of No Worlds, but otherwise they were just they were video is going